All right. So AEM Assets slash dam view. So whenever you're starting with a client that's moving on to AEM and they're creating their dam where they're going to store all their assets, obviously one of the things that needs to be discussed is how are we going to store those assets? There's a folder structure. How do we build that folder structure? And what ends up happening is you get a bunch of stakeholders in the room and they talk through how they use assets. And so you start having this discussion. And what you quickly start to find out is if you ask 10 different stakeholders what they think the folder structure should be, you're going to get 10 different recommended structures because they care about their world and how they use assets. So let's say you're talking to the marketer. The marketer says, my workday is driven by the time of year and the associated active campaign. Therefore, I need to be able to access assets related to a campaign for the current year and years past. So my ideal organization would be the assets folder would then have campaign folder, like maybe summer sweat, the year 2020, and then maybe the type of asset, landscape, or assets fall prep 2019 products. That's how I want them organized. Then you talk to the photographer or the asset creator, and she tells you, hey, the way, because I have to do a lot of setup when I'm creating assets, I create similar assets all at once. So any given day, I'm either set up for a photo shoot, I'm at my desk blowing out a bunch of new icons. It's quickest for me to be able to find existing assets by type and the date that I created them. So maybe I want the assets by the date they were created, the year, then the month, then the day. And then within a day, maybe if there's different types, photos or icons, that's how I want them organized. Now you ask the salesperson. The salesperson's like, I don't really care what's going on in the office. I'm in the field making the sales that keep those people employed. So I need quick access to what I need. I need the available collateral for each product that I'm selling. So I want the assets by perhaps a category or a brand. So let's say Sky Polaris or Slicky Gogs, two brands I made up. And then I need to be able to get to the sales sheets and the images. That's what I need. I don't care about what else is in the rest of that dam. And then you've got the IT person, and he's the dasher of all dreams. My ideal world is one of perfect order and governance, and therefore assets should be organized in a way that I can easily grant or deny access to ensure the system is logical and secure. So I want the assets separated by brand, then I want public and internal assets separately, and then under there, do whatever you want, but as long as I get how that organization so I can secure the system, then I'm happy. So you put these four people in a room and you have the assets battle. Who wins? Does the marketer win? Assets should be organized by campaign. The photographer / asset creator, assets should be organized by type and date. Or the salesperson, assets should be organized by product. Or lastly, the IT person, assets should be organized by permission / security. Which one of these wins? Well, unfortunately, this guy wins. The guy that has there's no business value. Yes, there's security. We need security, but that's not sexy. Like, we want to support business stuff like the other three, but nope, this is the guy that wins because that's how the system is structured. You actually have to structure your assets that way if you actually want permission and security. So our solution to this is dam views. So real quick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show first a demonstration of a dam view and kind of get the concept across of what we're doing here. And then we'll go through different views for our marketer that we talked about, our photographer that we talked about, and our salesperson that we talked about. So at a quick glance, we're basically, we're using the standard we retail assets here. So you can see I've got no extra folders here, nothing else extra in the dam, but I do have separately some dam views. And if I go ahead and take a look at my demo dam view here, what I've got configured is I've got configured that I want a first level of assets or first level of folder structure I want to be based on assets that have a tag, my color tag. And then I want to have a second level of folders based on a subject tag. So if I go look at my tags here, I've got a list of color tags and I've got a list of subject tags. So maybe the main subject of the asset. And these are just demo taxonomies. You could do this with any taxonomy. And the way that this works is if I go to my demo dam view and at my first level, I'm going to get folders, one for each of the different tags. And then if I go ahead and click the next level, now I'm going to get a list of folders for each of the different subject tags as I had configured over here. First color, then subject, and then finally I want to get to the assets. So if I go back to my view and I click into here, here's all the assets that have both the tag red, because I went into the red color, you can see here, and it also has the person tag for the subject. If I, take a look at this image here, this red one here, this is important to note. If I go back up a level, and now I want to look at ones that have a product tag instead, notice the same asset can even be in multiple folders, because I don't really care as a marketer, like I need to get to the assets I want to get to. I'm not into the business of organizing assets right now. I'm into the business of using assets. So if I want red product assets and this is applicable, I want this asset to show up in this folder as well as the other folder, because these are just views. These aren't being duplicated. These assets still live in the spot where they normally live. If I click into that asset, you'll see I'll go to that asset under the DAM. So that's basically how this works in general. So let's go ahead and take a look at our solution now in terms of our different users. Bounce back up to DAM views. All right, first was our marketer. Our marketer wanted to organize first by campaign. So if I go ahead and open up, sure enough, I get folders that are all organized by campaign. Next, she wanted to be able to then organize by the different year. So under there, I've got a year folder that's set up. And if I go ahead and click that year folder, at a final level, I actually have it separated by the subject of the asset. So 3 different levels in this case: first by the campaign, second by the year, third by the subject of the asset. So if I want to look at the people assets, these are all ones that have people in them. If I want to look at product assets, here we go, all the products that are associated with my campaign, the summer campaign from 2020. I bounce back up to the views. Now as the photographer / asset creator, if I go ahead and I want to look at them by date. So in this case, I've got the years that my assets were created. I've got a level that is the month that they were created. And then I've also got the date. And if I look at the 18th, looks like I've got some photos here that I took on the 18th. And I've got some icons that I built on the 18th. If I go up a few folders, maybe I want to look at a different date, January 15th. Looks like I don't only have photos that day, no icons, but I've got all my assets that were created January 15th. And then lastly, we've got our salesperson. And again, they just want to do what they need, the products. So in this case, I've got it by brand or by product line. Now, we could certainly put a level above this. If you had like hundreds of products, you obviously don't want to put hundreds of folders at this level, but you could have a level above this then as a category perhaps. And then if I dig into a product, now I can get to my sales sheets here, which has got my PowerPoints or PDFs, and then I've got my images for this particular product. Go back to a different product, same type of thing. In this case, I got an other folder because there was one that didn't fit my parameters. I got a spin set here apparently. So that is how this all works. And what's great about these is these are all very configurable. So if I go back up to my DAM views, and let's say I go to my photographer, and let's say instead of having my organization start with the year, month, day, and then go to my asset type, I instead actually want the asset type to be at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this up, resave this. And I got a little cleanup here. This is something that'll be optimized eventually, but get rid of those. Okay, now go view my view again. Back up to here, back to my photographer. We can see that now at the top level, I've got my different types. And then from there, if I want, I can go ahead and dig down into the year, month, date. For photos, I got a little bit more. I got different years and months here. So these can be configured in any which way, any which direction you want, can be reconfigured at any time, and this all works against an existing DAM. So let's go ahead and wrap up. So as you can see, with the assets and DAM views, the biggest purpose here was that we can satisfy multiple different job functions and different users. Basically, every single stakeholder that comes to that meeting that wants the folder structure to match what they do on a daily basis now can. There's no limit to how many of these you can create. The directories that are shown to the user are automatically created based on the view rules. So you could see that every different level, you could see we had either folders that were year-based, folders that were tag-based, and as new assets get added with those new tags, or new tags get added to the system, or a new year, a new month happens in real life, all those folders just automatically get added. Nobody has to go back and reconfigure these, remake new smart collections or anything like that. It's basically smart collections at absolute scale that automatically incorporate all the assets based on logic. You can configure multi-levels of logic, and you can reorganize them as we showed at the end there. And it's a very pluggable framework on the back end. It's actually very easy for an engineer to add yet another different logic level. If there's a different way you want to calculate folders, an engineer could spend a couple hours to create a new class that'll do that. And now you can have a new configurable level of view in the interface for authors to use when they're creating views. They can be added at any time, applied to an existing DAM, and there's absolutely no asset duplication or added complexity to the DAM structure. I was just using the out-of-the-box We Retail DAM assets for this demo today. And lastly, it still supports your access permissions. Your IT person's still happy because the overall DAM is still structured according to permissions. And as you fetch the assets, the same ACLs are still going to apply when you're viewing those assets during views.